It was supposed to be one of the most joyful weeks of Sorana Cîrstea's career. The Romanian veteran, after years of battling through the highs and lows of tennis, had finally lifted a trophy again. Just days before arriving in New York for the US Open, she had conquered the tennis in the LAN tournament in Cleveland. It was her third career singles title, but more than that, it was proof that at 35 years of age, she was still capable of shining against the very best. The trophy itself was not made of gold or diamonds. It wasn't worth much in material terms. But to Sorana, it was priceless. It symbolized resilience, dedication, and the ability to rise again when the world had written her off. She proudly carried it with her to New York City, planning to keep it close throughout the US Open. But what was meant to be a cherished keepsake turned into the center of one of the most heartbreaking off-court dramas in recent memory. When Sorana returned to her hotel room at the 50 Cîrstea in Midtown Manhattan during the US Open, something was missing. The trophy, her trophy, was gone. Stolen. Taken right out of her private space. In that moment, joy turned into disbelief. Disbelief turned into devastation. For a player like Sorana, who had worked tirelessly for nearly 2 decades on tour, the object wasn't just a piece of metal. It was a memory, a marker of achievement, something that would forever remind her of that glorious week in Cleveland. And now it was gone. She took to Instagram with a heartfelt plea. In her post, Sorana explained that the trophy had no real value to anyone else, but it meant everything to her. She begged for its return, not for publicity, not for headlines, but because of the irreplaceable emotional connection she had with it. Fans immediately rallied behind her. Messages poured in from across the tennis world, from fellow players and supporters who understood the depth of her pain. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about fame. It was about a moment of triumph cruelly snatched away. The hotel where Sorana was staying quickly came under scrutiny. How could such a thing happen in one of Manhattan's busy midtown establishments? The management responded cautiously, confirming that they were in contact with Sorana and taking the matter seriously. In fact, their head of security, a former NYPD detective, was reportedly investigating the incident personally. And yet, questions lingered. Why had no formal police complaint been filed at the time? Was the trophy misplaced? Or was this truly a brazen act of theft inside one of New York's most watched venues during one of the world's most famous tournaments? For Sorana, the uncertainty only added to the torment. While the rest of the tennis world was focusing on the battles unfolding at Flushing Meadows, she was fighting an invisible war of her own. A battle to recover something that money could never replace. On the court, Sorana had fought valiantly. She won her opening round at the US Open but was eliminated in the second round by 11th seed Karolina Muchova. In doubles, she exited early alongside her partner Anna Kalinskaya. Normally, the defeat would have been disappointing, but manageable. After all, she had carried momentum from Cleveland, and her fighting spirit had been on full display. But now, tennis results felt secondary. The real story, the real wound, was the empty space in her hotel room where that Cleveland trophy should have been. The tennis community was quick to show solidarity. The organizers of the Cleveland tournament themselves stepped forward, promising to replace the missing trophy. They understood that while a replica could never fully carry the emotional weight of the original, at least it could serve as a reminder of her triumph. Still, for Sorana, the offer was bittersweet. A copy could never truly fill the void left by what was stolen. This incident has touched fans deeply because it reveals something raw about the life of an athlete. We see players lifting trophies on television, we cheer for their victories, and we watch them cry on the podium. But what happens when those trophies, the very symbols of their sacrifice, are stolen? It's not just theft. It's a robbery of memories, of emotions, of milestones that represent years of blood, sweat, and tears. For Sorana Cîrstea, this was not just an object. It was a part of her journey, a chapter of her story, ripped away in the most callous manner. As of now, the mystery remains unsolved. The New York Police Department has not confirmed any investigation, and the hotel has declined to provide detailed updates. Sorana continues to hope that someone, somewhere, will find it in their heart to return the trophy to its rightful owner. Her fans, meanwhile, have made her story go viral. Across social media platforms, her emotional plea has been shared thousands of times, drawing attention from tennis lovers around the world. The overwhelming response is clear. People want to see justice. People want to see the trophy back in the hands of the woman who earned it. In the history of the US Open, controversies have often centered around line calls, dramatic matches, and fiery rivalries. But this time, the drama unfolded far from the baseline. It was about respect, about security, and about the heartbreak of an athlete whose triumph was tarnished in the cruelest way possible. For Sorana Cîrstea, the journey continues. She will move on, she will play again, and she will fight again. But the scars of this incident, the empty spot where her Cleveland trophy once stood, will remain a reminder of how fragile joy can be. Her story is more than a headline. It is a call for empathy. It is a reminder to respect the hard-earned victories of athletes who give their all for the sport. And it is proof that sometimes, the most painful battles are not fought on the court, but in the quiet moments when the cameras are off and the crowd has gone home. In the end, Sorana's plea echoes in the minds of fans everywhere. Please, return it. It means nothing to you, but it means everything to me. And until that day comes, the world of tennis will remember this US Open not only for its champions, but for the heartbreaking theft that left one champion without the symbol of her triumph.